Hello, Tony back again with my fifth installment of Scriptures Made Simple. I'm not going to be talking so much about Scriptures tonight, but rather a philosophy. And as you can see from the title down below, I'm talking about Kingdom Now Theology. This is a popular myth that has crept into the church today. It's very popular with pastors who want to attract young people into the church, who are in turn keen and full of zeal to go out and witness to people, to bring them into the kingdom and to hopefully build up the kingdom of Jesus Christ. And so the philosophy they are basing this on is from Postmillennialism. In the future there will be 1,000 years where the church will rule with great success and actually be the administrator over the whole planet Earth. And I think this philosophy has arisen from that misconception or misunderstanding of Scriptures, that the church is going to get more and more robust as time goes by, and then when Christ comes back, he's going to come back to a perfect church waiting for him that's ruling the planet Earth. Well, this is far from the truth. You only have to look at the church around you to see that it's not growing. If anything, it's shrinking. And the only time it will grow exponentially is in the tribulation period, when people who have sat on the fence for years decide to accept Christ as their Saviour when they see the horrors that are going on in the world. The post-millennial view is wrong for other reasons as well. It cuts out many scriptures that relate to the rapture, to the battle of Ezekiel, which sets when the tribulation will start, because the Antichrist signs the peace document to that war, and the actual tribulation itself, the Great Tribulation, which is the last 3.5 years before Christ returns, and then the return of Christ himself. The book of Revelation is written chronologically, and so there are a few places where John went back to re-emphasize points and then to put meat on bare scriptures from earlier on. But essentially, the book is written chronologically. In fact, the whole Bible is. So there's no sign of the return of Christ after the millennial period. There's no sign of him going to war with the Antichrist. As you know, when Christ returns at the end of the Great Tribulation, he returns on a dark day. He returns glowing in the heavens on his white horse and with a cloak that says Lord of Lords, King of Kings. He has a sword coming out of his mouth and a crown on, and he comes in great light and great boldness back to the planet Earth. It will be a terrifically horrifying event for all the armies in the Megiddo Valley waiting to fight him, because they would have been duped into believing that the Antichrist is God and that Jesus coming back is actually a lesser being that they can fight easily with. To their horror, they will see this great army of angels and God and the church coming down all dressed in white. As Jesus comes to earth, he goes to Petra. I believe he goes there to check on the Jewish remnant from Israel, because they are kept in Petra under the close watchful eye of the Archangel Michael. And after being in Petra, he goes over to the Megiddo Valley, where the Battle of Armageddon, or the slaughter of Armageddon, takes place, and he quite simply destroys them through the word of his mouth. He doesn't have to use bombs or rockets or missiles or planes. He just talks and they die. It's simple as that. And their blood is so deep that it comes up to the bridle on a horse, which is about 3 feet above ground level, and covers hundreds of square miles, 175 miles in length. This is a massive slaughter. It's only then that Christ has returned. And I believe the wedding has taken place in heaven already with the church, and that will be celebrated down here on earth, rather like earthly marriages. You have it in the church and then you go to the reception elsewhere. Well, the reception will be on earth. It'll be the beginning of the millennium, when the survivors from the tribulation can enter into the millennium. And of course, it says that we rule with Christ through this period, and then it'll be a tough period because unbelievers will be born, and we have to rule over them with a rod of iron. And so this is the correct eschatological view, premillennialism. Okay, there's got to be all of these events happening. Otherwise, if we're going to rule after setting up the Lord's church after the millennium, when is that going to happen? It takes away the urgency of the whole thing. It's something that makes you comfortable getting away from if you don't realize that the Lord's return is very close. So I would encourage you to go to a really good website. I've picked up one over the years called Grace Through Faith, where you can pick up some wonderful teachings. Go there and start studying for yourself. I'm not going to spoon feed you scriptures because that causes arguments. Go and do your own study, and you will see that if you've been following the pre-millennialist view, that you are actually in error. Well, that's all I have to say, and I look forward to chatting to you next time, which will be my 6th video to date. Thanks. Bye-bye.